Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Combat BS. I'm your host, BS, and we're going to be going over everything happening in the combat world as of recently. We had a crazy time over Thanksgiving break. I came to you guys on I think it was Tuesday afternoon, and I think there was some rumblings about the possibility of the Thursday football game, halftime show of the Chiefs game, middle of the day, in between lunch and dinner. People are going to be sitting down watching football. The UFC and the games on CBS and Paramount Plus. UFC is going to Paramount Plus. Everybody was like, it's very possible. There were some leaks about it. And what do you know? Out of the blue, the UFC confirms it. I think it was literally the morning after my podcast. There was tweets saying it's definitely going to happen. The next day, Ilya tweets early in the morning that he's got personal issues. The UFC will make the matches they need to make. There was all sorts of tweets about should Armin fight Patty? Should Justin and Patty still fight? Should Patty still fight? And who should he fight? And then the UFC goes on halftime show of the Chiefs versus Cowboys game. Dana White with this pre-recorded video. Not a whole lot of energy, but he's excited. And Patty versus Justin is announced as the headliner of UFC 324. The first card on Paramount Plus for free. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes as the co-main event. Sugar Sean O'Malley returns against Song Yadong. I like Sugar's tweet about I don't beat my dong, but I'll beat your dong. That shit was funny. And Arnold Allen versus Lord Jean Silva. That dude is so entertaining. So just a banger of a card. Tepa Gautier is on there. I think Alexa Grasso versus Namajunas as Rose Namajunas. Namajunas as Dana White likes to say. What are we, 10 years into her career? Come on, Dana. Let's pronounce her name correctly. Then after that, Dana goes on and talks about the Volk Lopez 2 in Australia a week later for UFC 325. I mean, I'm a huge Lopez fan and Volk fan, so this fight, I don't want it to happen, but I can't help but like it. No offense to Aljo. I like Aljo. He's a good guy. Don't want to see him in a title fight right now. Malzar's been sitting out too long. The only one that had a case was Lerone Murphy, and I think you just have to put Lerone Murphy versus Mavzar Evloev or Aljamain Sterling. I think I'm hearing rumors that it's Aljo and Lerone Murphy that are possibly being looking at, look at possibly making that. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that. I'm just excited to see where the UFC can take it on Paramount. Just the fan base, I think everything's going to swell a lot with the free pay-per-views. The people who have been thinking about possibly checking out the sport now are going to be fivefold, and their actual attempts to enjoy the sport because the barrier to entry is so much lower. I think everybody knows it was like $1,200 to be a UFC fan a year, and now it's going to be. I think the math is like $120 is what they said. But I think the prices are going up, but that's besides the point. It's just going to be tenfold probably less expensive. So everybody's looking forward to that, and the UFC fans and everybody who's going to be looking to be a fan after cards like this to start the year is going to appreciate it as well. But that's not what we're here for today. That's old news by this point. I just want to give you guys a little recap. We're here to break down UFC 323, and I'm going to give you guys my combat bet slips of the week. And we'll see what happens. I mean, right now we're up $1.20 on the year. We started 2 podcasts ago, I believe, or no, 3 podcasts. I can't remember. We've done 2 or 3 podcasts where we had to bet, and so far we're up $1.20. If you don't know how it works, I give myself $50 on a pay-per-view card, $25 on a good fight night, $10 on a Apex fight night, otherwise known as bad fight nights. We're going to start out breaking down the card at the Barbosa versus Turner. So let me see if I can get a little share screen. All right. We're just going to go ahead and share the screen real quick. Tapology, thanks for the information. We're going to go down here and we're going to start. Actually, I'm going to mention this one. 8-0 Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Trocoli. Who did he just fight? He just fought somebody pretty. I can't remember who. They canceled about Trayshawn Gore. That fight was fun. Got knocked out by Shara Bullet, but who doesn't? I'm gonna take Abdul Malik, but I don't really have much information for you outside of that. There's not a whole lot of competition here. This fight, I'm looking forward to see what happens. An unranked 6-0 guy versus a Ibo Aslan, who a lot of us know who he is at this point in his career. But I'm not going to pick the fights that I don't feel like I know enough about to tell you guys any information on. Next fight, Jalen Turner, my guy. I've been seeing him talk about his relationship with God and the way it's kind of brought him back to being himself. And all the power to him. I respect the hell out of that. But yeah, I don't see a path to victory for Edson at this point in his career. So just give me Jalen Turner by KO or decision. This fight here, Bruno Fajeda versus Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori has had a granite chin, blockhead as people call him on the internet. He is an absolute stud when it comes to taking shots. I'm not saying he's a great fighter. I'm not saying he's the most impressive, but this dude can eat a punch. That being said, I think he's only 32. Like, he's got Marvin Vettori. He's 93, so that would make him 33? 32. Yeah, 32. I don't know if it'll be this fight, but I assume sooner or later that's going to catch up to him. I'm going to take Bruno Fajeda by KO or decision. I don't see Vettori winning this fight unless he just is just in Fajeda's face the whole time. But when you're in Fajeda's face, he's going to put some power on you eventually. So I don't like his odds. And this is close on the odds. I'll tell you my picks at the end of the night. I always do that, but yeah, that'll be fun. Next up, Nazim Sadikov versus Faraz Ziem. I don't know a lot about Ziem. I just know that I remember watching him get a KO in France over a fellow ginger. It sucked to watch. Afromola. One of the nastiest knees. He caught him in an awkward little tie clinch situation where he just put his hand behind his head and caught him with the knee. Absolutely beautiful. But no. He's beat some guys, so ho-hum guys. Jamie Malarkey lost to Terrence McKinney, who doesn't lose or get KO'd. Get KO'd or KO'd by, it seems like, or choked. Jai Herbert, Matt Favola, Mike Davis. I mean, just a lot of solid fighters, but Nas is a step up. Nas is a guy who you don't want to fight coming up the rankings, especially when he hasn't even reached his potential. So, like, Nas is in a situation where he's moving. I know Nas is meant to be a ranked fighter. Faraz Ziem, I kind of think he is as well, and lightweight's kind of wide open right now. But just the technicality that Nas showed in his last fight. Who was that he fought? Yeah, Nicholas Moda. Moda comes at him with I think they called it like a 75 punch combo. And Nicholas is just waylaying on him, and Nas is just back and forth, gets caught a few times, and then comes back and puts him down, puts him out, finishes him. Just one of the more impressive performances. You got a doctor stoppage over Ismail Bonfim, who just got knocked out, so that's not the biggest deal in the world. Vyacheslav Borshov, that's not a great performance there. But that's a while ago at this point. He had some canceled bouts. Beat Terrence McKinney. Yeah, just they have one common opponent on here, and that's Terrence McKinney. Not that I'm doing the MMA math, but I do like me some Nas. So I'm gonna go for not Nazim Sadikov at plus money. Next fight, Macy Barber's winning. Just keep it moving. Chris Duncan versus Terrence McKinney. This fight will be all action all the time. There will be no chance this one goes to the scorecards. You're a crazy person if you bet that. I'm going to bet the under 1.5 in this fight. I don't have an answer as to who wins. So sorry if you were expecting it. Under 1.5 between Terrence McKinney and Chris Duncan. Grant Dawson and Manuel Torres. Grant Dawson is pretty high up there right now in the UFC rankings. I think he's like 13 or 12 after the retirements and the people leaving the division. And yeah, it's just he's moved up a lot. He's on a little tear. Got KO'd by Bobby Green, King Green, whatever you want to call him. Beat Slulecki, beat Rafa Garcia, Diego Ferreira. Okay. Some okay wins. But then we got my guy Manuel Torres over here. Just an absolute killer. Knocked out Drew Dober and lost to Ignacio Bahamondes. But we all know when it comes to the UFC right now, they are looking to break into one market specifically. Two in general, but one specifically. The one specific one is Mexico. Two in general. The other one's China. They're trying to build up a male star over there. It's never been working. Light heavyweight, what was his name? I can't remember. Got killed by Johnny Walker. That guy. Yeah, that didn't work out. But they pushed Diego Lopez to a second title fight. Manuel Torres just lost to Ignacio Bahamondes, who isn't in the rankings, or is on the edge of the rankings, and they're giving him a fight. His next fight after beating Drew Dober is a fight against a guy in the rankings above Ignacio. They're really trying to build these guys that are representing Mexico up the rankings. Grant Dawson, I just don't have a lot of faith in him to be able to take down big, strong dudes repetitively. And I think if Manuel Torres can just put a lot in Dawson's face here, I like Manuel Torres. He's got heavy hands. If he can just stay very disciplined with getting out of the way. Like there's a lot of times it seems like he hits somebody and he just lets them hang around his legs. And the logical thing would be to go Grant Dawson, but I'm an entertainment first guy. Got to go Manuel Torres here. Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Not a huge fan of Bogdan. He's what is he? 4-1 in the UFC. Yeah, he's beat Nikita Krylov, but the chin was already going. Billy Alicana, okay. Ryan Spann, Zach, who the fuck did he beat? Ustamir. Impressive. That could have been on his skid though. I'm not 100% certain. Versus Jan. We all know who Jan Blachowicz is. The dude is an absolute tank. He's lost some lately. Obviously, he lost to Carlos Ulberg, Alex Pereira. That was the most boring fight of all time, by the way. Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev in a split draw. Alexander Rakic, fair enough. Beat him with a leg injury. Glover Teixeira, he lost. Beat Izzy. So he hasn't beaten a light heavyweight besides Rakic since 2020. Yikes. But yeah, other than Rakic, who was an injury, but just rough. I'm not a huge fan of either one of these guys, but I'm gonna say that I think Jan Blachowicz gets that win he's been hunting for. It's this time. The dude is an absolute tank. That Polish power. He's got a chin of granite. I think it's time for Jan Blachowicz to get up there and get a win. Nothing more to say on that. Peyton Talbot versus Henry Cejudo on the main card. The little man card. It's just stuffed with flyweights and bantamweights. But I'll take Peyton Talbot here. I don't think Henry Cejudo can beat him at this stage of the game. I think Henry Cejudo went on a podcast, his podcast, and was just talking about how early in this camp he was struggling, was finding no success. And I just don't like that. I think at this point in the game, it's kind of hard for Cejudo to get up for these fights, but he's making a good amount of money. I think Peyton Talbot is a lot bigger of an athlete. I think Henry Cejudo is small for the weight class. He's old. He's been taking some shots, but it seemed like he wanted out of that last fight. I'm not saying he definitely did, but he just didn't really seem to want to be there. And Peyton Talbot's a dog. He proved that he can come back from fights after the Ione Barcelos fight. He went ahead and fought, Felipe Lima, I believe. Double check. Yeah, Felipe Lima lost a decision, or beat him by decision, I'm sorry. Looked great the whole fight. Beat Cameron Simon dominantly. Looked great the whole fight. And I think it's going to be another masterclass here from him. I think he's going to beat Henry Cejudo and make it look easy. Next up, Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. I love this fight. Tatsuro Taira is a guy who I really like watching. He's 17-1. Brandon Moreno, a former champion. Kind of resurgence here. He's took some time off after he lost the belt and kind of regained some confidence. Beat Amir Albazi. Amir Albazi? Sorry, he's not a super relevant. No offense. Albazi. Amir Albazi. And then he beat Steve Urseg in a great fight. But Tatsuro Taira, he's a beast on the ground. But I don't see it going there a lot. Brandon Moreno has a very good jab, has very good boxing, a low stance. And I just think Brandon Moreno is going to keep this on the feet for the majority of the fight. And I think he wins by decision. I don't think he's going to get Tatsuro Taira out of there. So, yeah. Pretty confident in that pick. Next up, in the co-main event of the evening, Joshua Van challenges the champion Alexandre Pantoja for the flyweight belt. Pantoja, this is his, fifth title defense, I believe. Absolutely crazy. He's 35 years old, but let's take a peek. Beat Manel Cop. Beat Royval. Beat Perez. Takes the belt off Moreno. Beats Royval. Beats Ursig. Beats Kyle Skora. Beats Kai France. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth defense, sixth straight title fight. Beating absolute dogs right beforehand. Matt Chanel in there too. Yeah, I absolutely love Josh Van. On a crazy tear. Had an insane month of June and still going strong. Beat Cody Durden, beat Edgar Charas, beat Tsura. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Knocks out Bruno Silva late in the third round on, was that June 6th, 7th? And then beats Brandon Moreno. Brandon Royval pretty convincingly. 3 weeks later, right before Topuria and Charles fought. Insane. Actually, 2 fights before, but you get the picture. Pantoja also last fought on that card. Beat Kai France. Now he gets Josh Van. Josh Van, I'm a huge fan. I love his boxing. I love his entertainment value. I think he'll be a champ someday. I don't know how long he'll be a champ for, but I don't think he's beating Pantoja this weekend. I'll take Pantoja, and I'll tell you how when it comes to the Combat BetSlip segment. And the main event of the evening. It's time. Let's go. Merab Dvalishvili, the champion, versus Piotr Yan, the former champion. Bantamweight bout. Merab has had a crazy 2025. Everybody knows it. It's the storyline coming into this card. It's the only reason I think this fight was booked for December. He wanted it. Umar in January. Sugar. The heck? Bugs everywhere. Sugar Sean O'Malley in June. Corey in October. And now Piotr in December. Crazy run. I think he wins here again. And I think he wins. What is going on? Sorry. I think he wins here again. And I think he wins by decision. But the line's going to be too crazy to bet on. And now everybody knows what it's time for. It's time for the Combat BetSlip. Combat BetSlip, Brad Smith, you know the deal. We're $1.20 positive on the year. Let's go ahead and close this out. I'm going to type down some bets here for everybody. All right. Do this one. All right. I apologize. Hold on, let me share screen. I apologize, guys. All right. We're going to go ahead right here and type this down. I like Brandon Moreno. Be a decision. I'm just going to do that. I know how to spell it, but I'm just going to do that. And I like Pantoja. Pantoja via sub under 3.5 rounds. And let me get one more up here real quick, guys. Sorry. I like one other fight. That's what it was. Peyton Talbot. Be a decision set or KO. Now, I don't think this fight will go, or I don't think any of these bets are bad picks. All of them are probably not going to be overly juicy, but we have $50 to work with here. Let me see if I like anything else. I'm going to do a KO parlay here. All right. There we are. I really like Brandon Moreno by decision. Pantoja by sub under 3.5 rounds. And Peyton Talbot via decision or KO. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. So we're trying to make money around here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put $10 here. We're going to put $35 here. I'm going to do KO par. And we're going to put $5 here. So, ladies and gentlemen, our picks for this weekend. UFC 323. Marab versus Petr Yan. Pantoja versus Joshua Van. The combat bet slip. Brandon Moreno via decision, $10. Pantoja via sub, under 3.5 rounds to juice it up, $35. KO parlay, Mansour Abdul Malik and Emmanuel Torres, $5. We'll see if we're back in the green or still in the black. Sorry. This coming Monday. But right now we are $1.20 positive. It's documented. You can go back and check it. I'm just typing it down in your face right now so you can see it. I will save this, and we will see where we are next week. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. This has been the Combat Bet Slip, and I will see you guys next time.